Hello there YouTube, it's Gojira Prime with another Transformers video review, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Earthrise Smokescreen. Now, Smokescreen is originally a character who first appeared in the second season of Transformers Generation 1. This is the first toy of Smokescreen I've ever had in my collection, and I have to admit it's actually quite a very nice mold. Now, I was originally going to get the Siege version of the character, but once they announced that they were doing a Earth mode, I decided to go for that instead, as that's how the character was in his original G1 appearances. Now, the figure itself is a repaint and I think a slight remolding, possibly, of the new Earthrise Prowl / Blue Streak mold that we've also had as well. Now, I didn't get the Prowl and the Blue Streak because I already have Prowl and Blue Streak from the Universe line, and as I'm still quite happy with that particular version of the character, of the mold, I decided just to stick with those two and just get the newer Smokescreen version instead. Now, the figure we have here at the moment is in his car mode, and he does have his gun accessories attached to him at the moment, as you can see there. Everything goes into little small ports on the hood here, and then there's a 5mm peg port on the roof for his gun as well. Now, I have to admit, I quite like the color scheme on this vehicle. I like the shade of blue, the shade of red, and the shade of white. All goes together very, very nicely, I think. And then you've got the number 80 on the side here. But as I understand it, this is not Smokescreen's original number. Why they didn't put the original number on there, I don't know. But all in all, it's quite a nice sports car model. It's got a decent paint application at the front here for black for the lights and then the bumper section here. But as with a few other Earthrise molds, there's not a lot of paint on the back. I imagine Repro Labels / Toy Hoax will probably provide a set to solve that issue at some point down the road. The wheels are just plug on straight on there. There's a little molded detail, but not a lot. There is some slight tire treads, and obviously you can see Smokescreen's head there underneath. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice car mode. I actually quite like it. Something a little bit different for me. But yeah, I quite like it. Rolls very nicely as well. But yeah, it's a nice little race car mode. I enjoy it. It looks different. There is quite a bit of difference between this version of the character and the version we had in the Universe line. But yeah, I still quite like this particular mold very much. But I'm still not going to pick up the Blue Streak or the Prowl because, like I say, I already have the Universe versions of those characters, and I'm still quite happy with them. So I'll get the figure transformed, put him into robot mode, and then we'll do some comparisons. Okay, so now we've got Smokescreen transformed into his robot mode, and I have to admit, I really do like the robot mode on this particular figure. It looks very, very much like Smokescreen in the cartoon, and one thing I really do like about this figure is it just does seem to pop out on my toy shelf amongst all my other Generation 1 Universe toys. It's got really nice articulation in the arms. You get a full range of motion, up, down, sideways. The hands do also swivel as well, but not when you've got the gun in the hand. That does limit the motion a little bit. But yeah, I really do like how this figure looks. And if we just get up on the face, it is a very nice head sculpt. I think it is a little bit different from the Prowl and Blue Streak head from what I've seen online. But aside from that, I think it's just pretty much a straight-up repaint. That's the back of the figure there. He does suffer from hollow leg syndrome quite a bit at the back here on his feet, but that's not too much of a problem since you don't really see them when he's on the shelf. Leg articulation is really, really good as well. He's got a full range of motion on his legs. But yeah, it's a really, really nice figure. I really do like how they are doing these Earthrise figures. They do, they're very, very G1 accurate, but they also have a modern take on them as well, which I think is really, really cool. So, it's not an identical version to how Smokescreen or any of the characters looked in the 1980s, but it's very, very close, and I think they look really, really good for it. Yeah, I really do like this mold. But like I said, I mean, I'm not going to get the other two versions of the character, the Blue Streak or the Prowl. The Prowl version only is available with Ironhide, and I already have the Siege Ironhide, and I'm quite happy with that figure as it is. And also, it's a bit difficult to find at a reasonable price. Now, just as a comparison, here he is next to Generation Select's Tiger Tracks from the Selects line, and they're pretty similar in height. I think Smokescreen's just a little bit taller. But that's those two together. And here he is next to Transformers Earthrise Optimus Prime. Again, they look really, really nice with each other. Very G1 accurate, both of them. And obviously you can see there is quite a bit of height difference between these two figures. And last but not least, here he is with Transformers Universe Prowl, the original version. And as you can see, they are very, very... Whoop, that's a problem with this particular mold. It is a little unbalanced, but as you can see, there's about 10 years between these two molds. Now, I never got the Smokescreen version of this mold. For some reason, I completely missed it, and I've never been able to find it for what I would consider a reasonable price online. But you can see they are similar in some ways in regard to the design of the arms, the chest, the way the doors hold out at the back. The heads are different quite a bit, and where the shoulder cannons on this one are detachable, on this version of the mold or the characters, they were all inbuilt, so they all folded into the figure as part of the transformation process. I still do really quite like this mold, even though it's not it's not the most recent version. My biggest problem with this guy is his legs. He is a little unstable a lot of the time. But yeah, aside from that, that's a pretty good mold, but never been able to get the Smokescreen version of it, so I got the Earthrise version. I have to admit, I'm very, very pleased with the Earthrise version. And to be honest, the fact that they do look similar but very different as well kind of is a nice distinction between the two. So that's my very quick review and thoughts on the Earthrise Smokescreen character. If you are looking to get a G1 style Smokescreen, this is as good as it's going to get, really, I think, for the Generations line. And as I said, it looks really, really good on the shelf. The colors for the figure do make it pop out quite a bit. So he's still available in the shops at this moment in time. So if you do want to get a Smokescreen, get a Smokescreen. Get this version of Smokescreen. It's a really good figure, really, really fun. I definitely recommend it. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.